Hello. Have you ever wondered how it seems some people effortlessly grow their money, making their money work really hard for them, while others are stuck in the slow lane? The truth behind this lies in an understanding of this concept of simple interest and compound interest. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to be learning about simple interest and compound interest. And at the end of this video, I am certain your understanding of these two concepts will be way better and you will be able to make better informed decisions with your investments. Not to talk about how well or how much better you're going to do in your exams and questions pertaining to this concept. What are we waiting for? Let's dive right in. Simple interest and compound interest are two different ways of calculating interest on investments. Now, let's look at the first one, the simple interest. The formula for calculating your simple interest will be P times R times T over 100, where your P is your principal, your R the rate, and T for time. Now, the new amount you're going to have after applying simple interest will be you adding on the simple interest to the principal. On the other hand, when we talk about compound interest, it means that the interest compounds literally. That is, the output from the previous year becomes the input into the next year. Now, the compound interest formula stated here produces an amount. All right, it does not just produce the interest. That is why to find the compound interest, you need to subtract from that amount the principal. Are you getting confused? Just stay with me. Now, the amount produced after compound interest is applied will be given by the formula P into bracket 1 plus R over 100 raised to power T, where again your P is your principal, your R is the rate, and T the time. Now, the new amount, which is what you calculate using this formula, is actually a combination of both your compound interest and your principal, which is why I said earlier that to get the actual compound interest, you need to subtract from this amount the principal. Hope you understand it. Now, to help you understand better, we're going to look at a few examples. Let's dive right in. Now, before we get into the examples, I need you to understand that whenever you're working with money, you need to write your answer to two decimal places. Two decimal places. This is the requirement for working with money. Also, you need to read the question properly, carefully, to note the exact formula you're supposed to use. Most of the time it is stated expressly, but sometimes the question might be a bit tricky. So please watch out for that. Now let's get to our very first question. Ula invests $725 for 6 years in an account paying simple interest at the rate of 1.3% per year. Calculate the total interest earned at the end of 6 years. The first thing you need to do here is to note that you need to identify the items you will need, the numbers you need to work with. Here, our principal is 725. Our time is 6 years, and the rate is 1.3%. Noting this, you need to just apply your formula. Remember, our simple interest formula states that simple interest is given by principal times rate times time over 100. So we will just substitute our values in here. It's going to be 725. Our rate is 1.3%. Excuse me. 1.3% multiplied by our time, giving us 6 years. Everything divided by 100. When you punch this on your calculator, it's going to give you, your numerator is going to turn out to be 5,655 over 100. Remember I mentioned earlier that money is given to two decimal places, and this one is pretty easy already because if we divide this by 100, it's just going to be 56.55. So the interest here, the total interest you will earn in all of those 6 years will be 56.55. That's $56.55. Now let's move on to the next question. Here we're told that $500 is invested at a rate of 3% per year. Calculate the total interest earned at the end of 7 years when simple interest is paid, and then we'll also calculate when compound interest is paid. So let's start with the simple interest. Remember what we did in the last question. We need to identify all our values. The very first value here is our $500. This is our principal. And then the rate is 3%. And our time is what? 7 years. So applying our simple interest formula, which says simple interest equals principal times rate times time over 100. Let's substitute all our values in. Our principal is 500 multiplied by our rate of 3% multiplied by our time of 7 years, everything divided by 100. Right, so we could cancel these two zeros here, and this will give us 5 times 3, 15. 15 times 7 is 105. So our simple interest over that period of 7 years will be $105. Now, for the same question, we have been asked to calculate the compound interest. Remember, the formula for compound interest, like we stated earlier, is amount. Remember, the formula gives us the amount. Our amount will be given by principal, open the bracket, 1 plus R over 100, everything raised to power T. All right, so let's substitute our values. Our principal remains 500. We open the bracket, 1 plus our rate is 3%. 3 over 100, and our time, everything raised to power 7. Our time is 7 years, so we'll raise the bracket to power 7. Okay, now remember, using BIDMAS, you have to evaluate the bracket first. So it becomes 500 into bracket 1 plus 3 over 100. 3 over 100 is the same thing as 0.03. So this is going to become 1.03 raised to power 7. When you punch this on your calculator, it's going to produce 614.9369 and so on. Remember, we write money to two decimal places. So this is going to give us 614.94. All right. So our amount is 614.94. But remember, we have not been asked for the amount. We've been asked for the compound interest. So to get our compound interest, we need to subtract these from this amount, our principal. Our compound interest is given by amount minus principal. All right, so it means that we are going to subtract. That is, what's our amount now? 614.94 minus our principal, which is $500. When we subtract this, it gives us 114.94. So our compound interest is $114.94. Now you need to observe here that even though the values are same, by values I mean the principal is same, the rate of 3% has been maintained, and the duration in both scenarios is 7 years, your compound interest will naturally yield way more interest than your simple interest formula, which is why it is preferable when you're making investment to ensure you work with compound interest and not simple interest. Remember, always read the fine prints. Very, very important. Yes, I need to repeat that. It is critically important to read the fine print in any investment you're about to get into. We have come to the end of this video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking till the very end. But wait, have you liked the video yet? Have you subscribed? Please do right away. Thank you. I'm going to be leaving a bonus question with this particular video. Try it out and let me know what you think. See you in the next one. Bye.